So President Obama is going to be campaigning because they're bringing out the big guns. Abigail Spanberger once had a commanding lead over the Lieutenant Governor, Winsome Sears. Now it's down to about 5 points. Mikey Sherrill in New Jersey struggling big time. She wants you to elect her because she flew a helicopter, even though she graduated from the academy. We don't know why she was not allowed to walk. Somehow she's involved in the cheating scandal there. And we know Jack Ciattarelli's gaining tremendous speed. He only lost the last election by 3 points. So they think President Obama will make a difference. And they're saying it because, you know what? He's got 96% approval among Democrats. And he's looked at positively by the American people. But he has not produced victories for other people besides himself.
No, the last time he challenged young black men to show up for Kamala Harris, we rejected that offer. So it's not like this is a guy that has a lot of steam in his boat. Let's look at the numbers because I think it really tells the story. Back in July, Spanberger was at 49% and Earl Sears was at 37%. You go to September, Spanberger stays exactly where she is, but Sears is up to 40%. And now in the latest polling, it's showing that Earl Sears is at 42%. One thing that we see, Carly, is that she continues to get support, and Spanberger is
well, Winsome Earl Sears clearly has the momentum there. So I think that was one of the reasons why former President Obama is jumping into this thing. And let's be clear, I mean, this is happening at the 11.5-hour mark because he's going to be campaigning for Abigail Spanberger on November 1st. Election day is November 4th. He just endorsed her. And then he's going to be campaigning for Mikey Sherrill in New Jersey on Election day on November 1st. So over in Virginia yesterday, Abigail Spanberger, she held a campaign event. It featured Bill Nye the Science Guy and Pete Buttigieg campaigning for her. Here are some of Pete Buttigieg's remarks.
I need you to pester the people that you love until you're sure that they're going to get their vote in. Because that's how we're going to deliver this election. That's how we're going to get results for Virginians. And that's how we're going to generate something that, to use a word that I know has fallen out of fashion in our time, is hope. Sometimes people ask me where to find hope, when we will summon enough hope to do something, but that gets it backwards. So when you show up one Saturday morning at the same time as millions of your fellow Americans to insist that our nation have no king, you're not waiting for hope, you are generating hope. Coming here tonight is an act of hope because you wouldn't be here and I wouldn't be here if we didn't believe that we can make a difference through the process of electing better leaders.
And by the way, he wouldn't be there if they weren't so scared they were going to lose. So they're bringing out all the big guns. Remember Westmore over the weekend? The former president's going to be there too. You know who they're not calling?
Who?
Kamala Harris.
Yeah. Right.
So if she is the front runner of the future of the party, the leader of the party, they haven't told other Democrats if they have to win in a purple state.
Or Joe Biden.
Oh, yeah. You know what's so sad? I never even think about Joe Biden. But, you know, Mayor Pete, he looked at the transportation secretary position as a no-show position, did absolutely nothing. And all you have to do is talk to Sean Duffy on or off the camera and see how what a mess he inherited as he tries to put the whole thing back together. But I also think on the New Jersey side, Jack Ciattarelli is making gains, and he's got Kelsey Grammer cutting an ad for him.
Yeah, but also, like, why are you saying hope? That was so 2008. I was a part of that campaign. That is so old, and we tried hope, and that's how you got Trump. Because it was so bad that the voters rejected. They said, no mas, no more. We can't take it anymore. And I just think Obama was the last starter that the Democratic Party had. And they have not been, sure they had 2020 during the pandemic, but they haven't found real energy since the Obama days.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And speaking of energy, I mean, think about what November 5th is going to be like. The reason that we're talking about New Jersey and Virginia is because they're the only gubernatorial races in our country right now, and they're going to be seen as a barometer for where the country is. And if Mikey Sherrill wins or if Jack Ciattarelli has I wouldn't even call it a surprising victory because, man, the energy is trending in his direction in such a big way. And the polls are closing. You see the polls in Virginia closing as well. Also, New York City is going to be a major barometer. What if we get a Republican governor in New Jersey and a socialist, some would call him communist, mayor in New York City? What would that say about where the country stands? So speaking of where the country stands, Alexis McAdams spoke to some New York City voters about the state of the mayoral race here in the Big Apple.
What do you think about who's going to be the next mayor of New York City? Who's it going to be?
Unless Curtis Lewa drops out, it looks like according to the numbers, that Madami's going to get in.
Zohan, I think he's the best choice. He doesn't have the experience, but I think he's got the best energy and the best ideals. He can't do what he's promising, so I'm curious to see what he plans to make happen.
So let's say he gets in, he can't do any of the things that he's promising, then what?
I mean, look, that. We're gonna have to cross that bridge when we get there. We got to do more than just get like a Cuomo in there.
Do you think the Democratic Party is what it used to be, or do you think it's moving more extreme?
Much too extreme. And they're losing a lot of people that were Democrats.
Democrats are weak. I don't think they represent most young people. I don't think they represent most. I think most people don't believe in the Democrats. They don't fight. They don't fight for people. We need you to say something.
Yeah, we need
That's
a program.
interesting.
Like fighting Trump is something they always do. They're good at that. They don't really get anything from it. Mikey Sherrill in New Jersey is running against Donald Trump. So it helps you get the nomination, but it doesn't help you win the general. Yeah. And that's what they're worried about. And also, Mondami, think about the ripple effect if Mondami wins. First off, Elise Stefanik probably picks up 4 or 5 points on Hochul because people look for a counterweight to Hochul, the Democrat in New York, totally in over her head. And then many people who have to work in the area are going to get out of New York and go to New Jersey, Connecticut, or some
Florida.
other places.
But look what the voters said. Well, many of the things, she's going to vote for him, by the way, and she goes, many of the things he's promised he really can't do. Yeah. So he's openly lying to you. And you're still going to cast your vote. That's what makes him so dangerous, because he doesn't have the authority to do it, that he's going to squeeze government in such a way. You know, he can't mess with the taxes, but he can definitely set a business climate that makes the businesses get out there, regulation, all of the, the procedures that go into for the certifications and permits and all that. He can make it life for businesses a living hell.
They have a supermajority in the New York Assembly. So
yeah.
if he's perceived as somebody who's popular and charismatic, they might look to put some of his tax plans in on corporations and individuals.
And I worry about public safety so much because him being mayor sets the tone. Police will leave New York. They will retire early. They will move to other areas because they won't want to be a police officer under a Mayor Mamdani. And it also sets the tone for criminals.
Yeah.
Who will say, okay, well, now it's a free-for-all. We see what he's saying about crime, being soft on crime.
There's a protest every day in this city of radicals, just lunatics that are out there, and some peaceful, but a lot of them inflict violence on them. He wants to get rid of the police unit that's responsible for making sure they don't block the Brooklyn Bridge. So if you want chaos where women that are pregnant that want to go to the hospital but they're blocking the roadway, this is going to be your mayor.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's going to be a debate tonight. This is the last shot. Cuomo and Sliwa are talking about maybe combining. I don't know, Sliwa says, I'm not leaving, but maybe if he's promised a job, maybe he changes it. They're going to be talking
so late.
today.
All their names are on the ballots, even Mayor Adams. But that is the state of where these races stand right now. And we look ahead to November 4th to see what happens.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.